know, in my head, I knew they were going to win.
Oh, we played really well. We prepared really well for this.
I don't think anyone predicted us. Definitely not 2-0.
We came into tonight with everybody doubting us. There were only a few supporters and a lot of haters. And we proved all the haters wrong.
Yeah! Came back, dude. Oh my god. I don't know.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our continuing coverage of Season 3 qualifying rounds. I'm D-Man. Alongside me is Freak, of course. Everybody knows who Freak is. And we're bringing you all the action as it happens here live in Los Angeles in our beautiful new Riot Studios.
It's amazing. I love
Freak,
it.
you're going to come to work here every single week.
Isn't that awesome? I love my job. I love esports. I love League of Legends. And it's like sinking in, like, I get to do this every week. This has been awesome so far. I get to do this over and over and over again.
For many weeks, many months, in fact.
You too, by the way.
I know, but I'm going to be all over the place. Don't worry, Europe. I have not neglected you. I will be there as well. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm spreading the love wide.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a lot of love
You're
to
so
give.
generous.
I am so generous, Freak. But
you're awesome. I just wanted to say, you are awesome, and thank you.
We're both
an amazing
awesome.
caster.
And we didn't go for Turkey or anything.
No, I'm
or
being
pheasant
legitimate. Because I respect you, D-Man. I respect you. I give you legitimate high fives. I wanted to explain the turkey, but you, sir, deserve no turkeys. I'm just saying.
I am no turkey.
You are not a turkey, good sir. Anyway, earlier in the broadcast, we asked the viewers at home to write to us on Twitter. We asked, what was the most surprising champion pick? Here's what some of the players had to say.
See what they said. It is, I think LeBlanc, and well, yeah, that's fair. That was the one-trick pony, was the most surprising. It did do well early on.
Yeah.
But actually, I think it was more the team comp that actually turned it rather than LeBlanc herself. I mean,
yeah.
Ocelot's always been a big LeBlanc player, and obviously we saw the one-trick pony come out.
Absolutely. LeBlanc's a champion, and sort of any champion with a power curve like that, where they're really strong earlier, they're really strong late. You can't blame the champion. You have to build a team around sort of that kind of play style. Early game wins are fine. We looked at Meat Plague versus Fear, the 58-minute game. They almost had an early game win. They had LeBlanc-esque champions who were going to win early, but peter out a little bit toward the end. They just couldn't quite pull the game off. The same thing, for one-trick ponies. They had a lot of early pressure, a great lead, but they had a bad team fight.
They had a bad team fight. Let's take another look at one of your responses and see what you guys thought. Let's see. It's got to be Kale, of course. Well, we did see a few of those. She's always been strong on the pro scene. Not many play her, and that is actually very true. We used to see, I think in Dyrus used to play it on top. Of course, there was the Dyrus Karthus combo from TSM. That was way back in the summer, I guess, of 2012. And obviously, we're seeing a huge rise of it in Korea right now. But we've seen Prolly playing it in this tournament.
And it's interesting because, yeah, the builds had changed so much. When Dyrus played her, it was double Doran's Blade into Zeal into Infinity Edge. And it was AD carry Kale. And as long as you had a good lane, you became this other really big threat. And it was hard to deal with. In Korea, we've seen her, and it was, you guys called the build that it's Nashor's Tooth into Leandri's Torment. And because the E would apply that dot, you would kind of shred people. And there was, I believe it was Rapid Star wrote about the build, and someone translated it, and he says, then you add more ability power, you get a death cap, you do death fire grasp, things like that, and you just start kind of chunking people down. We've also seen in Europe, I think it's Millennium's jungler, I could be wrong, I'm trying to remember the player.
Yes.
But he goes for the Lizard Elder.
I'm So Fresh.
Yeah, I'm So Fresh goes for Lizard Elder and also some attack speed, and applies that with the Reckoning, with the E. And now we're seeing here in this game again, it's the Nashor's Tooth sort of area of effect burn build. And that's one of the things I actually like about Kale. She has so many builds that are available, and it's just kind of fun. It's actually one of my favorite champions as well. Does so many cool things.
A very versatile champion. And the final one from the community. Let's see who has this one. I didn't actually make out the names of the last two. Apologies to you guys on Twitter. It is LOL, it's Corey. Yeah, nice and easy. I've loved seeing Kassadin picks. Haven't seen much of him in competitive play lately. That's kind of true, I guess.
He's gone back and forth a lot. He's very volatile because he has some really, really good lanes and some really, really bad lanes. And Jat made the comment that when you get Crystalline Flask, it's this sort of, not free, but you only pay for it once and you get it every time you go back to lane. And with melee being so short, you can recall and get back to lane pretty often. You get a lot of that sustain from Crystalline Flask. It lets you sort of come up to the lane and say, you'll harass me, but it'll be okay. And we've seen him kind of come back because the laning phase is less harsh for him.
And the problem is that Kassadin kind of disappeared because he was always one of those guys that if you picked fairly early, you could counter him pretty easy.
You could, and yet we saw actually Epic Gamer against, it was Valkyrin's team.
Solcy, yeah. Blind picked into Pantheon.
Yeah, against Falafel Gaming. And he was like, yeah, I'll blind pick it, again, exactly, the Pantheon counter pick. And he survived the lane and then started winning the lane afterwards. Once he hit 6, he just started killing people. And, you know, he was able to play with confidence, you know, get armor seals and whatnot, but crystalline flasks and potions go from there, starting to win mid and late.
Yeah, I mean, we say blind pick, but I think we guessed it was going to be, it could have well been Pantheon. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the questions. We still want to hear from you guys, your thoughts on us using @LOL Esports and, of course, using hashtag LCS. You guys have been reading it. I read it as well. We can see it all on our tweet decks, and we'll be checking out your favorite responses later on. We are into the picks and bans. You can see it on your screens, and straight away the bans coming out. It is Jarvan, Riven, and Anivia, and Evelyn, and Kha'Zix. And not letting that Kha'Zix through this time, though. I don't want no pentakills.
Now you kind of figure out, do they respect Nick Wu's Zed? They shut him down early, but they know he will grab it. They know without a shadow of a doubt that if they leave Zed up, I mean, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, but like 90% confidence, if they leave Zed up, he will go for it. And they do ban it out. They want to lower his comfort a little bit.
I mean, it takes away the burn, and well, the Brunch Club know that is not going to be there. Nick Wu's like, well, damn it. And what am I going to play? What else am I going to pick? I'm trying to think.
There's people like Sinjao.
He had Zed in 2 games, and he played another thing in something else, and I can't think who it is off the top of my head. I guess we'll soon find out. What first pick would you go for here?
Well, there's a lot of the big ones open. Nunu, darn, I didn't get it in time, but Nunu was the first pick last time. You know, again, there's the top 4. I'm just going to keep quoting Xhazard on this, and it's really true with the champion pick rates anyway. Nunu, Amumu, Kha'Zix, and Evelyn have been picked or banned in almost every single game, and Nunu just opens so many strategies for you. It was so fortunate that they got those 2 just floor wipe team fights in a row where they kept getting resets from Chuper, because outside of that, they were very, very close to losing that game to Caitlyn being untouchable. Well, we do see Laura Morris' Shen being taken away from it, so it's going to be Clicky D on that, and I guess Mega Zero will be also picking that Olaf on top lane. Olaf I like a lot more. I mean, they could go jungle Olaf, top lane Shen, but realistically, just, you know, looking at how that game went, looking at how Martin got their comebacks before, it's honestly relying on Mega Zero and Heartbeat. Those are the big players there.
Well, we do see Jace getting locked in. I wonder if that's going to be Chupa in the mid lane, or whether that would be Nick Wu on top.
It really could go either way. I believe we saw mid Jace, I think like
Probably
twice and top Jace
yeah.
once. So we have seen it in both places. My blind guess is mid Jace, just because that sort of AD-centric strategy just seems to work pretty well. Jace is very good at applying Black Cleaver. It's a pretty good build.
So we see Nunu Caitlyn. This time it's going to be on the Brunch Club. So will they reply and go Sona Ez, or will it be something different?
Well, they're kind of considering a different set of champions here. We've seen mid Gangplank, especially from Nian Tanso from Cloud9,
yes.
And it does some really interesting things. I've seen games where you can easily apply Static Shiv, you can easily apply Iceborne Gauntlet, and because you're only attacking once in a while, they're almost always charged and ready. The cooldowns are there, and you apply a lot of bonus damage off of Parlay. It makes it a really interesting build. It's sort of mage plank.
You stack them all up and get Bank Plank going on with the Hydras.
Exactly. So there's a lot of other things you can do there, but instead, they're looking at Lulu Graves, and here, this to me screams lane swap. I know I said it last time and got it wrong, but these are 2 champions. They are probably the best in class in both for pushing down minion waves and shoving turrets. If they're ever in an advantageous lane at 2-on-1, that turret will fall very fast.
See whether they can shove them down. So what are we expecting from the last 2 picks from the Brunch Club here?
Well, they need a mid laner and a jungler, or a top laner and a jungler. Nocturne, that was on the other side actually with Shengon. He's a supportive jungler, so Maokai is my guess here for Loud Immortus. It's his kind of best role is just tanky guys who kind of sit there in the front lines. As for a top laner with Zedgon, I'm going to say something like Sinjao if they run double physical again. But I'm thinking of what other kind of guys he runs. Aurelius is kind of there as a generalist top laner pick, but honestly, Mass AD just seems like the kind of thing Brunch Club is excelling with, and I don't see why they'd swap.
Well, we do see potentially Rise, which would make it a top lane, so it would be Nick Wu playing Jace in that top lane. It is going to get locked in. We do see Cho'Gath coming in. This time, it's going to be Loud Immortus on Cho'Gath.
Yeah, so Cho'Gath, I guess, is now sort of supplanted Maokai as the go-to tanky jungler. The pick rates from this tournament actually support that quite a bit, I should have thought of. But Cho is just great overall. He's really, really disruptive. And if he can get some good silences, the best thing he can do, actually, is he can time the Stand United from Shen and drop a Rupture as soon as he shows up. Because what Shen's going to do is as soon as he casts Stand United, as soon as he's out, he's going to Shadow Dash. If Rupture hits you mid-Shadow Dash, knocks you up and cancels it entirely. So if he times these really well, he's going to immediately cancel any taunts from Shen.
Well, we'll see whether they can time it right. We do see Atomic on your screen waiting to make that final pick. What will they go with?
The mid laner. Orianna doesn't make... Orianna would be okay here as a crowd control setup, but they don't have a ton of damage to back it up unless Mega Zero has the game of his life. It's Ziggs. So...
Well, I mean, we've seen
Ziggs
banned a few times, actually,
Yeah.
and it was against Good Game University, was it?
Yeah, against Shifter.
Against Shifter,
and he had played it twice in the group stage, and then it got banned almost every single game against him in their quarterfinal match.
Yeah, and it's more a case of probably people just aren't used to playing against it. You don't get to see it that often in competitive play.
No, he's had a bit of a resurgence recently. I mean, we had Shifter having played it a little bit. We saw it once or twice in the online qualifier, and we saw, I think it was CJ Entis and one of the other Korean teams had been running it a little bit throughout the winter season of Olympus Champions. So every once in a while we've seen him come out, and the thing is he's really good at sieging. His passive actually applies and deals bonus damage to turrets, so he's very good at breaking down minion waves and kind of pushing and going for a quick win. He's also pretty good defensively because he can wave clear so well. But I think the way they're going to use him here is the fact that they're going to combo off of Claky D's Shen. It's a very long-range ultimate, that Mega Inferno Bomb from Ziggs. They combo in from the Stand United from Shen, and suddenly out of nowhere they've got a 4-on-2, a 3-on-2, something like that.
So what are you seeing from these two teams? What are we expecting? We've already seen one pretty close game between MRN and, of course, the Brunch Club. But the Brunch Club came out on top. They turned it around. They got the pentakill. Very successful. That gave them the ebb and flow. They got the Baron, rushed it through. Are we seeing similar from this team?
It's very, very different here overall. The team comps feel slightly less cohesive here, where you had an obvious theme on both sides. Protect the Caitlyn on one, physical damage assassins on the other. For this one, you've got a whole different kind of setup. You know, we got the game going on here. We're going to get into this one, but let's break down what these guys do. So Brunch Club has a very good amount of poke, and they're very good at sieging. Nick Wu on Jace with Shock Blast. He's going to do so much against the opposition and just kind of poke them off the turrets and get a lot of control there. And then if you come in there, you've got Trooper just ready to unload on you as Rise. And Brunch you on Caitlyn the entire time is killing your turrets. So it's an offensive team here from Brunch Club with a lot to do. Now, over on MRN, it's kind of trusting on Mega Zero and Claky D to initiate in and do a whole lot. It's very burst-based here. They've got initiators who are going to dive in. Lulu's going to follow up. They're going to try to break things down really, really fast, which is what you want to do. When you're against a pokey team, you need hard engagement, and they've got a fair bit of it here.
They have got a fair bit of a hard engagement, and looking like they're going to try and go for a level 1 invade. If you've just joined us, it is the Brunch Club as the blue team in the bottom left-hand corner, and Team MRN in the top right-hand corner as the red team, and it's looking like a hard late engage coming in towards the blue buff. You can see the lanes have switched around, so there is only Mega Zero here to try and counter this.
And this is really, really good because not only is it Olaf, who's probably the best 1v2 in the game with Undertow, but he's also got Teleport. So if he ever gets shoved out of lane and gets low on health, he can show right back up. And he's open with Crystalline Flask, 5 health potions, and a ward, so he should be able to watch for that level 3 3-on-1 tower dive.
The question is, will he try and throw an axe down here? Will he do it? I mean, they pinged it, and they said, oh, well, there's Ellie B. We haven't seen the rest of the team, though. You know, Ellie went to put that ward up in his own blue buff.
They pinged on Mega here. They're about to go in. They're timing it so that they can kind of show up right as everyone goes for wolves. Mega saw him here.
Mega saw them, puts the axe beautifully across them, gets the slow across 4 members of the team.
That's nice. He puts a ward down as he leaves.
And there's the pink ward actually to clear it straight out. That's going to be the blue buff invade, and immediately you can see on the minimap the invade coming out from MRN.
But this gives a lot of really room to MRN's top lane. Their top laner, Jace, does not run teleport. He's going over just now. So that first minion wave is going to reach his turret by the time he even shows up in lane. He's going to lose a lot for this.
They've got the ward here, and you can see straight away Nick Wu is heading directly for this one. Can he get here in time? Claky D, I assume, is going to have to burn his smite. There it is. Uses the smite just at the right time.
And Nick Wu's going to have to spend some time clearing this out, though. And they won't necessarily know that he's shown up to do this, but even still, they've built themselves a 2-on-1. And interestingly enough, Heartbeat's actually not going to shove the lane. He's actually trying to zone it out. And as a quick correction on Heartbeat, by the way, it's UC San Diego, not UCI. I got corrected that. Thank you on Twitter. MalphusX, thank you for that one. And go Tritons. I went to UCSD myself.
So Heartbeat is slowly but surely working on that top turret. This is going to be a really hard 2v1 lane for both these teams. While they're good shovers, Jace is a great lane clearer, as is Olaf. Olaf we've seen so many times. He is like the ultimate 2v1er, but Jace is up there as well.
He's going to do a really good job of this overall, and he's got similar sort of escape tools where Olaf has Undertow, Mega Zero can slow his opponents down. As soon as Nick Wu hits level 2, he's got Acceleration Gate and Thundering Blow, so he can crowd control and knock back anyone who's chasing and haste himself back up. Nick was going to be pretty safe here.
He's going to be pretty safe. It's really the early levels and just whether we're going to see any early invades or any pushes. There's the enemy, the shock blast straight away. Does manage to catch on towards him, and he's cleaning up the jungle here. Cleaning up, sorry, the last hits. And he's going to level a lot quicker than these. You can see Loudermore is just around the side there. There we go. He hits level 3. Loudermore is already at level 3. Double buffed up. Waiting to see whether anyone's going to come around there. There is a ward in River, though.
Yeah, so they will spot him if he ever comes across this wall, but he's simply waiting as a counter gank opportunity. You can see him spotting all the way down in the jungle. He's going to flash over, but he's been seen by the ward.
He's flashed over, and he's going to try and catch the Rupture down there. He has got a Signs available. There's going to be the Mega Shock Blast coming straight down. That's going to be the immediately exhaust from Atomic there. Atomic's going to get forced away, gets hammered away, has to burn the flash. That's kind of what they were after.
That was a really nice move there by Brunch Club. He actually put the ward down to make sure he had the angle to Thundering Blow Lulu into the wall, and he made Lulu burn flash.
Clicky D now coming in down the bottom here as well, and they're going to go towards Loudermore as the pings come down. Is it going to be close enough? The Rupture comes in. He's going to have to go full length Shadow Dash, and he's not going to catch it.
Yeah, he will not reach them there. Really good, well-aimed Rupture there, stymieing that entire push.
So this bottom lane, take us through Mega Zero now on Olaf against the duo lane, the scary duo lane late game of Nuduke.
What you've seen right here is that he's performing pretty much equally to Nick Wu there, 12 minions to 12 minions. He's surviving. Of course, you're seeing him down in minion kills, but I want to specifically compare the turrets. At top lane, this turret's lost about 1/3 of its health. For Mega Zero, he's a little bit higher than that, but you're going to see Caitlyn do more and more damage over time. As Blood Bowl gets ranked up, this turret will take so much damage.
Mega Zero trying his best to keep it away, stands and puts the trap directly under his feet there. Dirty and cheeky play. Oh, he's going to catch it. Oh. And that's going to take him very low there. So
Brunch teleport here.
I think he's going to force him back. Yeah, he has got teleport, yeah.
Yeah, and really there's nothing he's going to teleport gank for right now. I think he should use TP because he'll lose the turret otherwise, but he won't lose much time overall. And if he's smart, he'll chug Crystal and Flask right here, get it up to 3 charges, and then leave base. He gets the charges for being in the fountain, and so he's got 3 stored in the Flask, but in the meantime, he's actually going to regen for the next 10-15 seconds.
Yeah, and he manages to use that up. Let's have a look towards this mid lane. As it stands, it's going to be Echo versus Chupa, Ziggs versus Rise.
This is not a matchup I've really ever seen before. Both these champions are actually not seen all that often, except in Korea we see Rise a whole heck of a lot. Generally speaking, I give the late game here to Rise, and without having a lot of mana, Ziggs can't wave clear and shove him into the turret, so Rise won't lose many minions to his turret, so it actually kind of stops most of the disadvantages of Rise, which are early on. I actually like Chupa here.
And I'm interested by the fact that Chupa started straight away with a Mana Crystal. That's pretty confident.
That is very, very confident, and it does really 2 things. One, it does show confidence because, especially because Boots of Speed got less mandatory in Season 3. Ooh, Clicky D spotted by a ward ganking bottom.
Yeah, he's trying to use his fancy ways of trying to get in here. Trying to invade. He does the same thing with Jarvan, if I recall, which is one of the ones we've had banned against him all the time. Loudermore is using the acceleration gate. He's going to come up. He realizes his flash is already burned. Catches the Rupture down. It's Atomic they're going to switch towards. Actually, they're kind of split targeted. Now they're going to go for the same one. They're going to jump on towards Atomic. He didn't manage to get the knock into the wall there. Ignite goes down. The Rupture's going to land for the second time. It will be first blood. It's Nick Wu that picks it up.
And there is Heartbeat trying to chase him down, but won't be able to. If he were Twitch in this situation, he'd do a little bit better. We saw that coming out from Curse, and it worked really, really, really well. But the unfortunate thing here is he just doesn't have the early damage up to stop him.
Loudermore is coming back around. So did Clicky D coming around the side there. Who's he going to go for? It's actually Brunch they wanted to go for. They switched up to LEB instead. They catch the Shadow Dash on towards Brunch. Gets taunted away. LEB getting caught out, but he's not going to do it. Now Brunch is turning it on its head here. He's going to flash through. He gates the one. Can he go down on towards Mega Zero? Mega Zero is going to be strong. Mega Zero could pick up 2. He has got the minions. He's going to come in. There's the Ziggs ultimate. He's going to pick up the double kill, but it's going to be the revenge for Ziggs, but it doesn't matter. It was worth it for Brunch. And now Rise is going to try and counter to Echo. Echo has to bomb himself and jump away. Also burns the flash. Was so scared of the Rune Prison.
Thing is, he had another 2 seconds on that cooldown, which is unfortunate. He could have gotten well behind the turret before Rune Prison's cooldown was up, but he simply did not know how fast Chupa got in that.
He's flashed onto him. Echo's now getting caught, and they're going to tower dive this one. Chupa should have enough. The Rupture comes in, and he shouts him down. Chupa's going to go down to the Ignite.
They will trade that, but it's an assisted kill versus an unassisted kill, and that is all turned in to a 1,000 gold lead. The saving grace, though, this top turret's going down.
And Heartbeat is working away on that top turret. It's going to get dropped, like you mentioned. That's going to be the first turret of the game for MRN. And, well, Nick Wu comes in just in time to save the day. Gets turned into a squirrel. And, well, he's just going to do as much as he can to try and keep that pesky little Lulu from doing the damage. He realizes he's going to lose the turret. There it goes. First turret of the game. And that's going to give the gold advantage. Actually, no, it doesn't. It still keeps the Brunch Club with the slightest of gold advantages.
And now it's up to MRN to get to that bottom lane in time to keep their turret alive. It's at 1/3 health. Mega Zero's in a rough situation. Actually, you're seeing these solo lanes about 40 minions each to 60 each. Not too bad.
And you see Caitlyn not even gone boots. Just gone straight out. I want this Bloodthirster right now.
Well, 2 kills like that will do it for you. You've seen this over and over again. One of the AD carriers gets a couple of kills early on and says, BF Sword, let's do this. And he's going to be in great shape with that.
We're seeing a Sightstone also from Louder Mortis and from Nick LEB.
Well, this is a situation where it's a little bit easier to spot the ganks coming through. They're not fighting against a Nocturne, and so they can actually put these wards in places and spot the ganks.
So, 2 Sightstones. That means there's going to be a heck of a lot of wards going out there. And they realize that it's for Claky D, I think. They just make sure he doesn't... He likes to get inventive, I think it is. Best safe to say when he goes for these kills. The 2 duo lanes have switched around. We do see MRN now with a lane down the bottom, trying to save, rescue that bottom turret. And then, well, Heartbeat's going for it here. LEB's going to use Absolute Zero. Full channel will go off there. He manages to catch a lot of damage. You can see collateral damage coming out from Heartbeat. He barely did a thing. And that's going to be one shot. Oh, and Atomic! He must be down to nothing. 12 hit points. And he gets away. Pops that health pot.
Yeah, the thing is, he had 3 charges on Flask the entire time and didn't use them until after it all hit. I mean, he would have kicked himself if he realized that he had just forgotten to use Flask and would have died, or would have lived because of it.
Well, it could mean that the Brunch will pick up this dragon. You can see they are stood on top of a pink wall, but there's not a great deal they can do about this one. We do have Echo with the ultimate. Is he going to try and get a steal on it with the ultimate? I don't think he will. He's just going to let the Brunch Club have it.
That's going to be theirs. A smite going down. Louder Mortis making that one theirs. Now his feast is up for what that's worth. But a lot of really good moves here. 1,000 gold lead. That is squarely for the Brunch Club.
So how do we compare? Now we have Nick Wu and Mega Zero officially back in lane. What are we seeing between the two? Jace versus Olaf.
Well, they had very, very similar starts. Jace actually going for a bit of a different build, though. He is really, really wanting to poke, and he knows he'll never get a Golem buff, so he grabs Tear the Goddess to make sure he can always spam Shock Blast and play long-duration extended sieges. So he's itemizing for the game plan, not to be a duelist, but to be a pusher. And that's how he's going to deal with that. It's going to make his lane a little bit more difficult, though.
Look at that. Claky D, purely by the fact that he got spotted by that ward in the middle there. Nick Wu completely backed away, giving Mega Zero a bunch of free farm for a while.
And he needs to be sure he doesn't get ganked too readily. The difficulty, though, is that these ganks can show up from nowhere because Claky D has that global ultimate, that Stand United, which is so very powerful. But in the meantime, he's got a minute and a half till it's cooled back down.
Yeah, and it just shows really the versatility that a jungler can force, the pressure he can put on the lane, that these pro players, they'll spot it. Obviously the pings were going down, so you're pretty much hearing it as well. But the fact that he's just exerting that pressure, despite the fact he's a good half of the map away.
And this is going to be their turret now. Really good play at the bottom lane. They've grabbed this one. Claky D giving the Golem buff away. That's nice. We saw actually an early minion kill lead for Echo up against Chuper. You know, generally speaking, yeah, Zig's gonna have an easier time farming, and he gets to wave clear and kill off jungle monsters super easily as Ziggs, especially Chalice Ziggs like he's built right here. Expect to see Echo just to really, really scale up in gold. You saw him run right toward the Wraith camp and realize they're not up just yet. He's gonna keep scaling up throughout this game. The difficulty is that it's much harder for Ziggs to put out persistent damage output, whereas Ryze can just machine gun spells together.
Well, we see LEB and Louder Mortis coming around. Louder Mortis is going to steal away the wolves. They ping it up. Say, well, we spotted you. Put in a high ward position up there. They're going to keep pressuring, I feel, on this inner turret. The way they've positioned all those wards out, they're quite happy to just stay in this lane for a while.
Absolutely. This is a lane where they're honestly pretty safe. This Caitlyn is so very far ahead that she will win any 2-on-2. And with the ward coverage, it's going to be pretty easy to spot the ganks. And realistically, it's not even hard for Chup to get across the map either.
There we see the Brunch Club going to push through. Siege minion, well, it is going to get cleared out quickly. Heartbeat's pretty fed as well. It hasn't got that BF sword quite on there yet. But Chupa, like you mentioned, he could easily zip across. Ziggs, of course, so with that ultimate, could definitely cover off a good chunk of the map, clearing out, and that's how quick you can clear those minions out. Quickly wave clear and Echo, no problem at all there. He's gone for the Athenes and Holy Grail. What else is he going to go with that?
So generally speaking, as Ziggs, your goal is just damage. And unlike assassins like Evelyn, who are going to be in melee range and use Abyssal Scepter a lot, you're just buying the traditional old school AP items. He's going to end up building actually a lot like Orianna would.
Nick Wu's in trouble. He's realized he's using acceleration gate. He's trying to get away from this one. Mega Zero's also used his ultimate there. I believe, did he just pop Ragnarok? Yes, he did. But now it's going to be Nick Wu. It's going to get turned. He's going to get dropped. And there it is, a free kill for Echo. Picking up, and that is going to be his third kill of the game, giving him a chunk more gold. Louder Mortis is going to try and exert the pressure. They're going to try and turn this into a bit of pressure towards the mid turret.
It's going to be a rough situation, though, because there's so much wave clear here from MRN. It's kind of wasted time here from Brunch Club. Just watch this. Undertow comes out. Buckshot just went down. There's the bouncing bomb. Not even a single point of damage in that turret.
Not a single point. Meanwhile, that's all happening. Clicky D is back in base. He's just sorting himself out. We see a bunch more giant belts coming out across the board.
Yeah, they build into the three really main tank items. Sunfire Cape if you want to be more offensive. Randuin's Omen if you're really worried about physical damage is the best one there. Or just a simple Warmogs if you want to survive against basically everything. And it looks like right now Warmogs is the item of choice on all sides.
Well, MRN have just pinged on towards the blue buff. They're thinking of going for that one. Ziggs uses his ultimate there.
He flashed too.
Desperately trying to get the kill on Louder Mortis. It wasn't to be, though. Means they're going to have to back away. Meanwhile, Clicky D is trying desperately to keep Brunch away from this turret, but they are forcing it down. We mentioned that they put the wards out. We're going to see some cutting across here, and immediately their ward coverage gives them early warning system.
And they're just so fast, too. They've got Blood Boil. It should be max rank by now. He's level 9. I'm going to check on that real quick. Yeah, it is rank 5 Blood Boil, 3 in Ice Blast, not even a point in Consume, and that just gives them so much move speed, 15%. They can kite away from anything.
Well, you can see Nick Wu getting a bit of pressure from Mega Zero here. He wants to continue on this one. I'm not too sure who could win this fight. Pops the Ragnarok as well. He's going to have to back away. That's going to give him a little bit of a resistance and armor. Is it going to be enough while the Ignite's running? And it does force him away there. Nick Wu may well get a bit of a free time here. He's got no support. Of course, that Stand United is available for Clicky D, but he's not going to waste it. And the blue buff, meanwhile, is going to be given across to Chupa. Nick Wu gets that damage down on the turret. Is Mega Zero going to bait this one? He's going to have to. Stand United coming in, but he's oh so low. Is it too late, though? Clicky D just coming in almost as a defensive purpose, and yet the Shadow Dash is not even going to catch on towards Nick Wu.
And Nick Wu pops out. Mega Zero, unfortunately, too low on health to keep the chase. And so by the time Nick Wu had run out, he was not even close to in range of Shen.
You can see those water balloons of or bombs onto Chupa. They're not doing a great deal now because Chupa's got that health. He's got that Rod of Ages in there with the Tear of the Goddess. And well, Chupa's naturally going to build tanky as well. I expect Glacial Shroud will probably come out next.
Exactly. A Negatron Cloak will sit there as well, uncompleted, but just kind of sitting there for resistances. This is actually kind of the low point for Ziggs, where his main damage spells are getting maxed, and that's fine, but he's like waiting on death cap. He's got only like 60-70 ability power coming out from Athene's Unholy Grail, 60 AP, a lot of mana regen, some good clear reduction, but he's kind of plateaued on damage for a while until he can finish the next big ticket item.
Well, Stun United has just been used, remember. There is a teleport for Mega Zero, and we are going to see looking like a dragon fight setup here for him.
This is going to be a very good thing overall for Brunch Club. No, actually, take that back. Mega Zero does have teleport. So now Nick Wu, if he's very cognizant here, will be able to use Thundering Blow to knock back Mega Zero mid-teleport. But if Mega, he can either ult teleport, or he can just simply do it from Fog of War and make a 5v4.
Let's see if they do get any poke back and forward. Instead, they're trying to think, whoa, we don't want to lose our tower. Clicky D's just Shadow Deaths to cross there, and they've immediately come back to defense. They can clear that way very quickly, as you mentioned. There's no worries there. So Mega Zero continuing to keep Nick Wu busy in that top lane. 120 CS currently for Nick Wu, but you can see the Brunch Club, well, they've just taken the blue buff. They've just given it to Echo.
And that's going to be really, really important. They're getting the low cooldowns onto Ziggs. I expect Dragonfight to be a bit of a poke war here. Both teams want that gold. Both teams feel confident they can get it. And as long as these teams do a good job of wave clearing both mid and bottom lane, they won't lose like a turret as a reaction move.
Warmogs has been completed by Mega Zero in this top lane, as you've seen many, many times. Looks like he's had a bit of a back and forth with Nick Wu. Nick Wu going back with next to no mana and a bunch of health lost. So Mana going to try and take this advantage to push for the turret. There you go. You can see Brunch does manage to catch onto two members of Marn, and they do peel away from this one. Dragon down to about half health. Here we go. Teleport's going to come in. That's going to be the Ziggs ultimate. It does land, but it doesn't do a great deal of damage. Clicky D taking the damage. So Mega Zero now coming around the backside. Brunch is going to get caught out, but wow, the damage already down. Clicky D gets dropped. Martin to Mega Zero does manage to get in there, but it's too little, too late. He got the kill on towards Brunch, but well, it doesn't matter because it was a 3-for-2 exchange. And Marn, honestly, when Mega Zero came in, he kind of needed to be with the rest of the team. I understood he went straight for the AD carry, but Chupa just cleaned house.
It was really pretty brutal there. Honestly, they got caught out early on. Too much damage was on Atomic N. There was a very, very good kill over Peacemaker from Brunch U before the fight even started over Dragon Wall. And he picked down Atomic to half.
Flash on towards Echo, and that's going to be the more damage to Chunji. And both of them actually. Heartbeat taken down very low. Can Nickwu finish it off with the acceleration gate? No, he cannot. He did manage to quite get it there. The Shock Blast was not quite accurate enough.
And a very nearly Trooper almost going down as well. Took a bunch of turret damage. Ignite could not quite finish him off. Atomic N taking some poke. He cannot go into this 1v2. That won't be a good fight for him. He has good vision with the wards, but he can't fight this.
Whoa! Shock Blast again catches him out there. Takes him down half the health. Louder Mortis is back as well. Clicky D was with him, but like you mentioned, there's not a lot of damage there. Now we have Mega Zero back. It should be enough to clear it out. And they're going to fight for this dragon again, Freak.
Well, they've got a pretty good position here. LEB has to go back to base. Trooper's very, very far away. They've got a 4-on-3 pretty much at worst.
So it's going to be a smite race, I feel, between Clicky D, and I'm almost certain Louder Mortis is going to come in for this one as well. Brunch is continuing the pressure. You can see the Shock Blast coming across. Clicky D taken down pretty low. He's having to tank this himself, and he's had to pull out again, and he's just too low to deal with this one. And the Brunch Club have fought this one very nicely.
Yeah, they know Feast is down, but they still don't have the health bars to deal with it quite. That's pretty unfortunate for MRN. They had come back with comeback victories every single time so far in this tournament up till now, and it looks like they kind of need the same sort of miracle.
They will need the same miracle. Here comes Mega Zero coming across. He's got that shield up. The Brunch Club starting to force in there. They want to force the fight on the turret here. You can see them going straight for it. Nickwu with the damage, and the turret is actually doing the damage on towards them. Now we're going to see Mega Zero. Are they going to push back out? Oh, that Shock Blast is just doing so much. Mega Zero gets caught out. He gets dropped by Nickwu on the turret, and that Jace pickup so far for Nickwu seems to be paying dividends.
It's working very, very well for them. He's able to do so much damage from far away, and you're just kind of seeing how well they can burst someone down when Trooper lands a Rune Prison. They just collapse on that champion and kill it off quickly.
And there is the turret finally going down. That's the second turret of the game for the Brunch Club, and that is going to cause them to turn straight onto Dragon. That's the advantage they were looking for.
That is a great advantage for them. You're seeing this Dragon now just under siege, and of course you can see the positioning there. MRN has no chance of taking this one out.
Didn't want to get close to it. 9-5 in kills. The Brunch Club with the lead. 1-0 up in this game. And now they have a 5,000 gold lead. And MRN, well, they came back from 6k against the Zhug earlier on yesterday. I say earlier on, it was last game of the day, I believe, wasn't it? But I'm not sure they have it in them. Who knows? Who knows? They've come back from worse.
They have, and we're going to see what these guys can do with this one. So, Clicky D is going to go for the split push. Difficulty being he does not have his ultimate up from cooldown, but it's kind of what they need to do. Both Clicky D and Mega Zero can play split pushers, so interestingly, the way split pushing really works is as long as you can out 1v1 anyone on the other team, and then you can leave freely with a teleport, you pull aggro to you, you force 1-on-1s or 2-on-1s, then you show back up to make 5-on-4s or 5v3s, and you do that over and over again. It's the kind of strategy that Taipei Assassin used a lot when Stanley was on Nidalee, is he would just be able to win his duels, he itemized for 1v1s, and they itemized the rest of the team for 4-on-4s, and simply pulled aggro and fought smaller battles. Here for MRN, they need to figure out if Mega Zero or Clicky D is the one to win 1v1s. They need to be able to make sure that the 4-on-4 is good for them too.
So let's see how they deal with it. They need to get a couple more kills in here, a couple more picks, but Brunch Club are playing this very clever. They're not leaving themselves out there, they're not getting caught out, they're not hanging out a little bit too far. Mega Zero's working on this bottom turret, but Nickwu straight away responds. Misses out on Mega Zero. Mega Zero's going to get a couple more damage hits on there, but he's going to have to back away, and Nickwu is responding so well to Mega Zero's pushes.
And meanwhile, you're seeing amazing pushing coming out from Brunch U. That Caitlyn doing so much damage to structures. 3-1 in turrets right now. Very good opening for Brunch Club.
So you see them pushing in. That is all the outer turrets down. Where are they going to go from here? Are they going to continue pushing on the top lane? It looking like they will. Brunch is coming in there. Well, he's just lost his blood boil. You can see LEB's just going to come back. They're putting a lot of damage down onto this one. They've took a good third of the health off straight away there. And now you can see Trooper and Louder Mortis. They're closing in around the bottom side. Mega Zero is in trouble here. I don't think he even realizes it. He's going to have to pop that Ragnarok. He has got Ghost. Will he be able to escape the damage? You see he's got 3 members in there. Oh, beautiful. Just before he got to use the Ragnarok, the Ghost went down and he just got knocked straight back into the wall. Is it going to be enough? Mega Zero is going to get away. No, the Rune Prison comes back in. Ragnarok runs out. Very, very well played by Nickwu and the Brunch Club.
And the thing is, Mega Zero, if he had gotten about 3 more seconds, could have Ragnarok teleported to a turret.
Yeah.
You cannot break teleport while you're under Ragnarok. Nothing will touch you there. And you saw him take more than 4 seconds. He took the entire duration of Ragnarok to go down. So if he had had just a couple more seconds, he could have gotten out.
It was more to the point that he hit Ghost and didn't hit Ragnarok at the same time.
Yeah,
so
he got that one
He got hammered
knockback.
back, just back into the wall. If he'd have done that, it'd have been gone. And straight up River as well. But it doesn't matter, it didn't happen. And as it is, the Brunch Club are pushing in and more advantages as they go. And it is going to be the mid inner turret. Now they've taken the bottom inner turret. It's going to be the mid inner turret will follow once Brunch finishes that off. There we go. And meanwhile, Claky D, he's trying his best to force anyone to notice me. I'm pushing your inner turret. Come please notice me. And well, he has pulled the attention of Louder Mortis.
And that's nice, but the difficulty thing, the thing to remember right here is Brunch Club, this looks like a team with Baron, where they're getting these free pushes, they're catching people out, no one's responding to their actions. That looks like what you normally see when one team is Baron and the other team is like, well, we gotta take 2 turrets, but you know, whatever, we'll deal with it, we'll stop them again when Baron runs out. This isn't with Baron, this is simply Brunch Club being more powerful as a default setting, and you're seeing Marn not able to do anything to stop them.
Not able to respond to it. Mega Zero trying his best to keep those waves continually clear, but well, he's losing out in the farm. Now we see the Mana Moon coming out. I guess we're going to see the upgrade on that one for Jace. So interesting build from Jace straight there. Warmogs, of course, along with the Home Guard boots on the Ionians, as well as the Hex Drink up. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, actually, they're going to catch on. The Ziggs ultimate does come down. It's Chupa's the target, and his ideal target. They should catch him down. Yes, they do. They just saw Echo jumping away. He's going to come back in, gets Nick Wu down. That's 2 kills. Very good kills as well. What can they do with this one? They're going to try and force Baron.
That was a perfect engage. Baron's going to be a bit difficult because there is still a live Caitlyn. Problem is, she's in the base, so it will take her quite some time to show up here.
Oh, Mega Zero turns back on towards Louder Mortis there. LEB coming in as well. Mega Zero is going to go for this one. The rest of the team needs to peel with him. They are going to go towards Louder Mortis. If they can get him down, it will be the smite gone. Louder Mortis taking down Vrolo. Absolute Zero, full channel about to come out, and Caitlyn joins the party, and he does manage to get the kill. That's going to be a second kill. This has backfired horrendously because the rest of Marn did not react to the same point as Ace in the Hole is going to come out, and it is forced Marn's whole advantage away there just because Brunch came back.
That is so unfortunate here for Marn. I kind of want to see a game 3. I want to see more games coming through, especially that brother battle. I want it to be close, but that was a very just weird, not coordinated fight. They were looking good up until the point where they baited them into the absolute zero, and Brunch U showed up. They had good damage on Louder Mortis. I was like, you know, this 3-on-2 split might work, and then the rest of the team showed up.
The rest of the team did come there, and you just wonder, I mean, really, whether that's simply down to, you know, a more experienced team would have made the call and everybody would have reacted to it. Instead, 2 of them peeled away, 3 of them stayed, and they were like, oh, are we doing Baron? Should we stay? Should we? I mean, the fact is, once Mega Zero had got so close to Louder Mortis, everybody should have been straight away coming. It's like, we can take down the main smite.
Yeah, that's lack of a captain, or just an inexperienced captain who isn't kind of, you know, really making the right call. They had enough time to get Baron so low Louder Mortis would be forced to engage, but instead they spent their 2 main damage dealers, Olaf and Graves. If you want to send someone to chase a champion down, don't send the AD carry. Send a mage, send a support, send something, but do not send your AD carry off of Baron if you actually want to kill Baron for real.
It's looking like Brunch are going to take down the Dragon as well. That's going to extend their gold lead. It's 8,000 gold lead now. 5 turrets, 2-2, 12-7 in terms of kills, and they are 1-0 up. And now they can surely sense it. But how does that affect their play? How would it affect your gameplay, Freak? If you were sat here thinking, well, this is going to give me a job for a year as a professional computer gamer. I'm going to get myself a gaming house, I'm going to get paid to do this, and more to the point, I can win even more money at the end of the season.
Well, the main thing you have to do is take your mind off it. As hard as that might seem, you've got to just relax and play normally. No one's ever played the best game of their life because they're overhyping themselves. You can get in the zone, you can get motivated, but if your brain is thinking about what the game means, your brain's not thinking about the game itself. You've got to just be able to focus on exactly what's going on and leave everything else out of your head.
Trying to channel off Mega Zero there. He thought about pushing away, kind of sensed that something wasn't quite right in this lane. Nobody was visible. We are seeing Clanky D pushing back along that top wave, but we do see the rest of the Brunch Club, of course, shoving along this bottom lane. Not choosing to go for Baron, but choosing to go straight for turrets. And why the hell not? They have a big advantage.
And no Baron buff, but they don't quite need it. The one good thing for MRN is they buy time, and they should be able to. Graves, Ziggs, and Olaf should all be able to buy some time. They're just going to go in.
They're just going to go in, stun united on towards Mega Zero. It's going to be the Ziggs ultimate landing in there as well. Brunch is the main target. They will manage to pop him down, but the rest of the team being turned out. Nickwu just going to turn back on towards the turret. And of course, don't forget the double kill coming out from Chupa. Chupa gets straight in there. Nickwu picks up a kill. Echo the last man standing. That's a double kill for Nickwu. And that is the ace for the Brunch Club. They're going to get an inhibitor.
That was a beautiful fight by them, and that's kind of what Rise does best, is he is best against assassin-y teams because they'll overcommit so hard diving your AD carry, and Rise, if you leave him alone for more than 5 seconds, will eviscerate your entire champion lineup, and that's what you saw here from Chuper. Now they're going to recall really, really fast, heal back up, make sure the counter Baron is not available. They watched, I'm hoping, Fear vs. Meat Playground and realized, don't leave the counter Baron up, because that's what they're doing. They're defending, they're waiting for it. But again, Rise, he beats assassin-y teams because he will kill you as you chase someone else.
And you know, this is showing, this is almost like a mirror image of the games earlier on today. We're going to get a replay and check out that ace and take us through it, Freak.
All right, so focus here on what Chuper is doing. Watch him. He's down at the bottom. He takes one little bit of damage. He's pushing down onto Mega Zero, spamming abilities down, and you just watch the health bar start melting down, the red ones, as they get smaller and smaller. Chuper is just spamming out abilities. Everyone put out on cooldown. Double kill for him, and they can just, of course, chase down these last two with no problem.
Yeah, and what I was going to say earlier on, you know, this is kind of a mirror image of the Dirtnat gaming game. They were after Zuna. They tried so hard to focus on Zuna. They literally piled through, and you saw exactly that. Mega Zero, Claky D, everybody, Heartbeat, everything went in there. And, well, at the back there, it was just like, well, Chupa's like, well, this is easy. Everybody's running into my ulti. I'm just going to keep doing all this damage.
Yep. All the splash, all the burn. I mean, he had Golem buff, I'm pretty sure. He's got very, very low cooldowns, and he just is going to eviscerate everything.
Shock blast there. One single shock blast taking half of the health off Echo. He didn't even get just caught the full blast to the face, and that is going to now be a problem. We do see two Warmogs coming out, Claky D and Mega Zero, but we can see there is a chunk of armor, there's a lot of ability power, and there's a heck of a lot of mana as well for Chupa.
And that's going to be a Baron very, very fast. That took so much damage so quickly. Brunchu and Chuper together just eviscerate large targets like that. Both of them able to chain their attacks and abilities together. This is looking like the game-winning push here for TBC if they play it right.
Yeah, we're also seeing home guard boots actually on Chupa. On the Muramana as well. Wow, another shock blast catching on towards it. This time it's a Heartbeat, and you immediately hear that ping. Half the damage done in a single shot. Ooh, Echo just dodging out the way of that one as well. And they can just poke it down slowly and find their opportunity.
Well, Zig's going to keep poking out. They do want to clear these minions down. Some of them need to find 4 minutes of time that I don't think they can gather here, but they're going to hope to defend this turret for so long that Baron runs out, because you've already seen the fights not go well for MRN. It's going to be even harder when they've got Baron on top of it.
Yeah, and there you can see, slowly but surely, Nickwu trying his best to poke it away. Instead, they're going to turn to the inner turret up the top lane. They're just going to tank that one up there, and Brunch is going to clear out that mini wave. No, they're just going to tank it out. Laudamonis is in there.
Yeah, well, that's going to be an easy, easy backdoor. Of course, so much durability on this Cho'Gath. He's kind of ignoring most of the damage that the opposing team is dealing, and he's just happy with that. And there goes the top turret. This is going to be theirs pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, they will dispose of the first inhibitor turret, sorry, the second inhibitor turret of the top lane, and now it's going to be the inhibitor going down, and again, the ping there straight away, Shock Blast landing, finding its home on Heartbeat, and he's had to back off. Laudamonis, is he thinking of tanking this one? No, there is still a full team there. Let's not get carried away with this one just yet, but they will get in there, and Nickwu as well with the expended. Oh, and there's going to be Mega Zero diving in. They're doing it again. They're throwing everything at Brunchu. They are going to catch him out. Is it going to be enough? The rest of the team around the backside? No, because immediately you see Heartbeat getting blitzed across there. Heartbeat's getting taken down. Nickwu and Chupa are just destroying the rest of the team. Echo's going to go down, so that's going to be a triple kill for Chupa. That is going to be the game. We are going to have our fourth team into the Season 3 tournament, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the Brunch Club. They're just going to push on through, and it is a 2-0 for the Brunch Club. They are in Season 3. Their dream is complete.
They have made it. Congratulations there. And of course, even still, it's a happy Claky D. His brother has made it into Season 3. Nickwu, Laudamortis, Chuper, Brunchu, LEB. Congratulations, guys. You have done it. The last game of Saturday. There's the hugs coming out. The elation, the emotion. Congratulations, Brunch Club. They have made it team number 7.
They have made it indeed, and you can see what it means to these guys. They are now into Season 3. They are joining the likes of CLG, TSM, Dignitas, Fear, Curse, and Good Game University. And they are now in there, and there's one more I'm missing.
No, I think you said 7 just now.
Did I pull them all out? Wow. I do surprise myself there. But there you see everybody getting involved. And I'd like to see whether Claky D, that's Nick Wu, I'd like to see something between those guys. But, you know, the brother thing, we've seen it many times. We've seen Dan Din and Andy, of course. Reginald, maybe you probably know him more as. But we've seen many brother conflicts. This time, Nick Wu won out, despite the fact he was the first death of the game.
Of the first game of the series, yeah. He was first blood. But he came back a triple kill in the very last fight in Game 1. A very commanding Jace game here. Guaranteed a couple of those kills on Mega Zero. Had a lot of great fights. Guys, we got a replay of that last triple kill. Let's see just how dominating this Brunch Club lineup was as it went down to it. There's the dive comp. So much damage on a Brunchu. But on the left-hand side, there is Chuper, and he's going to start killing things. Just look at the health bars getting eviscerated down. Claky D finally cleaned up on the right-hand side. But meanwhile, everyone else is dead. Chuper flashing across the wall for it. They're just ahead by this point. The dive comp, they tried for it. They got some good damage. They killed the AD carry, but there's just so much left over once Caitlyn is dead. That's what the Ryze does. That's what the Jace does. It cleans up fights.
There we go. The brothers embrace. One of them, when they knew it was going to be through, this time it was Nick Wu. Of course, are not out of it yet. We do have more matches tomorrow. Day 3 will be a big, big thing. 4 teams in that tournament. Only 1 place remaining in Season 3. Well, what do you guys think? What a fantastic tournament it has been done. We're not quite done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to one of the players. I'm guessing it may well be Nick Wu. We're going to try and drag him up here. Who knows? It has been the last match of the day. We're going to recap everything that happened today and tell you what to expect tomorrow. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're not quite done yet. We are here. And, of course, joining me once again is DJ Wheat. I am D-Man. And, wow, what a day's gaming we have had.
What a day indeed. I mean, we have 4 teams now that are making it through. And guess what? We're here with one of the last qualifiers of the day. It's Loud and Mortis from the team, the Brunch Club. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you.
I mean, yeah, let me hear your first reactions.
I'm still pretty speechless, but I'll tell you, I feel amazing.
You feel amazing. I mean, you've been in the scene for a while. Everybody knows your name. You were in there with Legion, I believe it was, a while ago. You've done many teams jumping across, but now you've managed to find a solid team, the Brunch Club. You've qualified for Season 3. Just how does that, how's that sitting? You're going to be a paid pro player.
I I mean, I've deserved it for a long time. You know? Deserved it. It was just a matter of time, you know, until I found 4 competent people to play with. But real talk, I mean, I can't even explain like how much it means to me. I had lots of family and friends at home rooting me on, and all the people that supported us, like, you meant the world. Like, that was what made my dream come true, is, you know, everybody out there, you know, saying I could do it.
I mean, we had so many different scenarios today in terms of the teams that were going to make it. You know, the Curse, who obviously were in a situation where if they don't make it, they could potentially lose their house. And you guys are in this awesome situation where this is the dawn of your career. It's really what you've been going after. So, you know, with that put out there, does that mean that you are going to put 1,000% into season 3? I mean, do you have to make your mark going forward?
We're definitely going to put 1,000% in, but it might not start tonight.
Well, that's the other thing we've been asking, is that, you know, like this small break and then maybe getting right into it, but I imagine you're going to take it as serious as possible.
Yeah, everybody on our team, we weren't content with just beating teams. We wanted to make sure we were better than them. We wanted to keep getting better. And I know that's something that isn't just like we wanted to get to this stage and now we're ready to plateau off. We're a team of players who really consistently want to get better, and I think that's what propelled us to get to this point. And then going forward, yeah, I mean, we're just going to keep trying to get better.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the team. Is everyone prepared to move into a gaming house? Everyone's prepared maybe to move to LA, or is things got to be settled down? Because you've got a pretty short period to sort this out. You've only got a couple of weeks. 7th of February is the start of the season.
Why'd you got to blow his mind like that?
I know. That's just like, there is the scenario right now. That is the pressure you're under straight away. You're going to be facing CLG, TSM, Dignitas every other week.
I know. I was only worried about Kha'Zix, Seville, and Shen, and now I have to worry about where to live. I think a majority of the team is willing to move out, and I think that is probably the route we will take.
Tell me, what has been the most challenging part of this process to make it right here?
Well, there was a lot of pee breaks. Just studying all the teams, trying to, you know, there's a barrier to entry for professional, and I mean, if our people are like, we don't want to scrim that team, we don't know people on that team, and it takes a long time to get to teams that you can actually get better off of. And then when you get to that, you know, they're stomping you. They tear you down. The first time you scrim them, they annihilate you. It's not even close. Like, you're like, let's go for Dragon, and they're taking like your inhib, and you're like, worth it.
So, I mean, speaking of that barrier entry, what would you say to an aspiring League of Legends team or player if they wanted to be where you are next season?
Just give it 1,000%. That's what it took to get here for me. If you do that, right, it gives you plenty of entries into the competitive scene. There are teams that slack off, and then people come in expecting big things, and they fall off, and you can tell. I mean,
and I want to quickly mention, we'll talk about quickly the game that you actually had, the 2 games you just had, the pentakill. I guess we've got to talk about that. You guys were actually under pressure at that stage. They were pushing you, and you managed to counter in there. Is it simply a case of you just caught out the mid there? It was Echo?
Yeah.
He was on Oriana at the top there, and then boom, everybody piled in.
It was just a case of they left Kha'Zix up, and Kha'Zix is really cheap. And they spread out really well. Like, oh yeah, I didn't swear. I'm good. Yeah, they spread out really well. Kha'Zix got a couple unseen threats, and then, you know, Cho just kind of let it happen in the bush.
Yeah, he actually just showed himself, didn't he? But we're going to see more from that from Jat in a moment. But, you know, how do you feel yourself? You know, you seem a little shell-shocked right now.
I definitely am. 2 of my favorite casters right next to me, and someone just said I get a big contract and a huge house. So
pretty good day. Not too bad for a day's work or a couple days of work, huh?
Oh my God, I can't even tell you. This means everything to us.
All right. So MVP of your team,
Trooper. He has improved a ton. I can't even I mean, the namesake is Brunch, and I think Brunch is probably our best player, but I think our MVP is Trooper. I think.
But it used to be Troopers.
It did.
It did indeed, and there's a reason for that. So, wow, thank you very much, Louder Morris,
Yeah.
for joining us. You're going to be a star, I feel, coming into Season 3. You're going to be up there. One of your names is going to be in lights, maybe, alongside all the other big players that are currently getting it. That's what we're going to hope to be bringing you guys at home. We want to see more top players forming through. We've already seen Zuna today. Zuna's shown himself in the light there.
Yeah.
As Louder Morris is going to be alongside him. You certainly proved it in the previous tournaments, but what a fantastic day it's been.
Excellent work. Congratulations yet again. And you know, we were talking a little bit about that pentakill that we saw. How about we throw it over to Jat for the final word on our last matchup and, of course, that fantastic pentakill.
Thanks, guys. I just actually wanted to talk about Chuper's pentakill, in all honesty, because this was the swinging moment when you really realized that they were going to take this game. So you can see MRN is pushing in at the turret. Everyone is grouped up. Let's just start rolling this clip right here. You can see a flash crescendo is going to come in from LEB. Kha'Zix jumps in. They catch Echo out. He's Zonya's. You're wondering if it's going to work. As soon as he does, let's pause it here. Chuper jumped in to start this fight. The fact that they were able to finish off Echo allowed him to get the reset on that jump. It's going to be very interesting watching this because he's going to have to jump over everyone who's clumped up here. This fight is actually quite close right now. They've lost Nick Wu, but they've killed Echo. At this point, you don't really know what's going to happen. Let's watch what happens in half speed. And while Mortis may say this is a little cheap, he pops his ultimate, jumps over. It looks like Heartbeat's alive. No, not anymore. He continues to jump on, finishes off Atomic, and at this point, Claky D actually popped his ultimate to get on him and went halfway across the map. Chuper finishes off the pentakill if we watch the rest of it at full speed. Mega Zero was actually about to go back, got seen by the ward, and unfortunately, this was really the end of the game. Pentakill, good job, Chuper, and congratulations to everyone from the Brunch Club. Everyone who qualified today, we now have 7 teams. It was a really great match.
Thank you very much, Jat, and well, what a fantastic way to finish it. With a pentakill, of course. Yesterday we started with 16 teams. Today we've moved on to 4 of them qualifying through to Season 3. 7 teams now complete. What are we expecting? One more to go. Day 3 is the big day.
Yeah, tomorrow the final 4 will enter, and only one will leave with a coveted spot in or onto Season 3. Of course, that leaves Meat Playground, Dirtnap Gaming, Azure, and Team Marn, and they'll be fighting it out. Best of 3s as they break through the bracket. There you can see them right there. This is the last chance, D-Man. Like we had mentioned, I said earlier, it's like you get that real-life Guardian Angel. Boom, Sunday comes, and here it is. This is it. You know, no excuses. Leave nothing behind. You've got to do it. But of course, who qualified today? We had we had Fear early on. Then we had Good Guy University, followed up by Curse, and then finally the Brunch Club. What was your favorite matchup of all those?
Honestly, it's got to be the Good Game University versus Dirtnap Gaming. Dirtnap Gaming looked, to me, certainly the one I think tomorrow may give everyone a problem. They look competent. Of course, they were going up against a team that they knew. They'd played each other so often, which is what even made it harder for one another. But they had some fantastically close games. Good Game University, a very good team. Dirtnap Gaming getting through there. Of course, Azure as well. They came up, unfortunately, against Curse. They came up against a full brick wall. A team that was so well prepared for this tournament. They had to. They simply had to. There was no question whether they were going to get through. They had to get through, 100%. If they were lost, they were out. They were out, literally out the door. They would have gone back to Vegas and they wouldn't be going home.
Yeah, and you know, Curse had kind of expected to play Marn, but of course Marn took that #1 seed out of the 4th group yesterday. They now go on to the final day. That allowed the Brunch Club to face off Marn. Of course, we just heard from them, and they made it through, and one more team is that much closer to Season 3. So tomorrow, the Season 3 North American qualifier concludes as the remaining 4 teams battle for the final spot on the roster. Now, the action is going to kick off at 11 a.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Central European with Team Dirtnap Gaming taking on Azure Gaming. I'm DJ Wheat, and on behalf of myself, D-Man, Riv, Jat Freak, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow for the final day of the Season 3 North American qualifier.
Thank you.